Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We're going local today and diving into something super practical that can really make a difference, especially for all of you Texarkana businesses out there, especially if you're on TasteTXK Workspaces. We're unpacking what's known as the ACCE model.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it kind of like a roadmap to better understand and really connect with your customers in a way that helps your business grow.
For sure. And we've been digging into a bunch of resources to break down this model in a way that's, super clear and actionable. So our goal today is to help you take those steps and really see some real results here in Texarkana.
It really is about building that loyal customer base right here in our community.
Yeah.
And the ACCR model, when you get it, it gives you these tools to make the most of platforms like TasteTXK.
Exactly. So by the end of this, you'll walk away not just understanding what the heck the ACCR model is, but actually knowing how to use it to grow your business right here in Texarkana, using TasteTXK to your advantage.
Absolutely.
So let's just get right into it. What is the ACCR model?
Okay, so the ACCR model, well, it's essentially a framework. It maps out the entire journey a customer takes with your business, from the very first moment they even hear about you, all the way to, ideally, becoming a loyal fan who tells everyone they know about how great you are.
So it's a lot more than just like getting new customers in the door.
Yeah, way more. Attracting new customers is obviously super important, but the ACCR model emphasizes really nurturing those relationships over time, building something that lasts.
Got it.
It's all about finding that balance, bringing new people in, but also making sure they stick around and stay engaged.
I like that.
So the name itself, ACCRR, it's actually an acronym that stands for those 5 key stages: awareness, consideration or desire, conversion, engagement, and retention and advocacy.
Okay, so 5 stages. Now, for our Texarkana business owners listening, why should they really care about this model?
Well, think about it this way. When a business really puts effort into connecting with their customers at each of those stages, they usually end up with more loyal customers.
Makes sense.
And in a close-knit community like ours, that loyalty, it translates directly into more repeat business and ultimately more sales.
And more revenue, right?
Exactly. And so often businesses, they might pour a ton of energy into attracting new customers, focusing on that initial awareness and consideration.
Yeah.
But then they sort of forget about the rest. They might miss out on keeping those customers engaged and turning them into advocates who will actually sing their praises.
So it's about building something that's more sustainable than just constantly chasing after new leads all the time.
Exactly. The ACCR model, it gives you that roadmap to a well-rounded approach. So you're not just on this hamster wheel of trying to find new customers, You're also cultivating that strong core group of loyal customers who really fuel your long-term success here in Texarkana, especially on platforms like TasteTXK.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's break down those 5 stages. First up is awareness. What does that even mean for a business?
Awareness is all about that first impression. It's that very first moment a potential customer learns that your business even exists.
I guess that seems kind of obvious, but why is that first impression so important?
Because it's literally the foundation. I mean, if people in Texarkana don't know you exist, they can't become your customers.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
True.
So you got to have that initial visibility. Without it, you're missing out on a huge pool of potential customers that you could be guiding through the rest of those stages.
Okay, so how can a Texarkana business get noticed? And how does TasteTXK Workspaces play into all of this?
All right, so there are a few key things you can do. First of all, and this is super important, you want to make sure that your destination page on TasteTXK is really awesome.
Yeah.
Think of it as your digital storefront for all the TasteTXK users here in town. You want high-quality photos that actually show off what you offer and, capture that Texarkana vibe.
Definitely.
Then you want to make absolutely sure that your business info is up to date, all the details, and consider featuring a special offer right off the bat to grab people's attention.
Great tips.
And then don't underestimate local marketing, getting out there in the community, participating in events, partnering with other businesses in Texarkana, and see if there are any collaborations you can do on TasteTXK. These can really boost your visibility.
Be present, right. Be present online and out in the community. What else can businesses do?
Well, paid advertising can be really effective too. You can target your social media ads to reach people specifically here in Texarkana. You can even do local Google ads, which means your business will pop up when people are searching for something you offer.
Oh, that's smart.
And don't forget about the power of engaging with the community. sponsoring a local event, partnering with a business that complements yours. It helps you tap into new networks.
And TasteTXK often helps facilitate those connections, right?
Exactly. So keep an eye out for those opportunities.
So it's kind of a mix of being involved organically and also using paid options strategically, all while using TasteTXK as a central platform to really amplify those efforts right here in Texarkana.
Now, how do you know if these awareness strategies are working? What numbers should businesses be looking at?
It's a great question. So within TasteTXK, you'll want to look at your total offer views. That's like how many times people are actually seeing your offers on the platform.
Okay.
More broadly, keep track of something called impressions. Basically, that's how many times your business pops up online when people are browsing. It's like a digital hello, you know?
Yeah.
And then check your click-through rate. That tells you if people are actually clicking on your listings to learn more after they see them.
Got it. Views, appearances, clicks, all those early signs that people are starting to notice you. Do you have a real-world example of how this works in Texarkana?
Absolutely. Let's say a new barbecue spot opens up here in town.
Okay, love it. To build awareness, they might run some targeted Facebook ads showing off their, delicious barbecue and maybe their fun outdoor patio, all to people within a few miles of their restaurant.
Yeah.
They could even partner with a local radio station
Yeah.
for a grand opening event.
That's smart.
And the result?
Mm-hmm.
More people walking through the door and a noticeable increase in views on their TasteTXK profile. Plus, they might even see a lot of people checking out their grand opening discount offer on TasteTXK.
Awesome. So you've got their attention. They know you exist. Now, how do you keep that momentum going? What's the next stage?
Right, so that takes us to stage 2, consideration and desire.
Right.
Now, at this point, those potential customers, they know about your business, but you have to give them a reason to choose you over all the other options here in Texarkana.
Okay, so it's going from like, oh yeah, I've heard of that place to, man, I really want to check that place out.
Exactly. This is when they're weighing their options.
Yeah.
So this stage is all about showcasing what makes you unique, what makes you stand out, building trust, and creating that kind of emotional connection so they feel like your business is the right fit for them.
And how do you do that?
Strong messaging, clear messaging, and really enticing offers are key here to move those folks closer to actually making a purchase.
So for our Texarkana businesses using TasteTXK, how can they cultivate this consideration and desire in potential customers?
A few things come to mind. Telling your brand story, I think, is so powerful, especially in a local market like ours. Share your history, what you're all about, what makes you different in Texarkana.
Yeah.
Maybe you use locally sourced ingredients. Maybe you're involved in community projects. Let people know.
People love that.
Yeah, exactly. And then customer testimonials, those positive reviews, they add so much. They build trust and help people connect with you.
Makes sense.
So make sure you highlight those on your TasteTXK profile. And don't be afraid to create offers that are just for TasteTXK users, like a welcome discount or a limited time deal. It makes them feel special.
Exclusivity, right. Everyone likes to feel like they're getting something special. What else should they focus on at this stage?
Keeping your brand consistent across all your platforms, including TasteTXK, is crucial. Your logo, your colors, the way you talk to people, it should all be recognizable and professional, and it reinforces who you are.
Definitely.
And definitely use social proof to your advantage. Encourage those happy customers to leave reviews on TasteTXK and highlight those positive comments. I mean, hearing great things from other locals, it goes a long way in convincing potential customers that you're the real deal.
It's like a stamp of approval from their neighbors, right?
Exactly. And within TasteTXK, you'll want to pay attention to the claim rate of your offers.
Okay.
How many people are claiming an offer after they see it, and then total claims and saves. Are people saving your offer for later? That means they're interested. And look at your 30-day claims. Are they going up? This tells you if your offers and what you're saying are really resonating with the TasteTXK crowd.
That's good intel. Do you have an example of a Texarkana business really nailing this consideration and desire stage?
Yeah, for sure. Imagine a new clothing boutique here in Texarkana. To get people really interested, they might share posts on their TasteTXK page about a new line they're carrying, maybe a local designer. Or they could highlight their personal styling services. Then they could offer something like TasteTXK exclusive, 20% off your first purchase.
That would totally get me in the door.
Right. And that would really encourage those shoppers who might be on the fence to come in and see what they're all about.
Perfect. They're aware, they're interested, they want what you have. What's next?
Okay, so that brings us to stage 3, the big one. Conversion.
Okay, let's convert.
This is where all that interest actually becomes action. When the customer takes the plunge, they buy something, book an appointment, redeem that offer they saw on TasteTXK.
This is where it gets real. It's all about turning interest into revenue.
Exactly. And this is huge for any business in Texarkana. You can be super visible, get people interested, but if they don't actually buy something, well, you're missing out.
Yeah. So what are the secrets? What can Texarkana businesses do, especially those on TasteTXK, to really maximize those conversions?
I'd say first and foremost, make sure you have those clear, obvious call to action buttons on your TasteTXK offers.
Okay.
Make it super easy for people to know what to do next, like claim offer now, book your appointment, things like that.
Makes sense.
And when someone does claim an offer, make sure the redemption process is smooth and easy, whether they're redeeming it in the store or online. Any hiccups along the way, any confusion, and people might just give up.
Yeah, you don't want to lose them at the last minute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And creating a sense of urgency can really help too. Like flash sales or exclusive discounts featured on TasteTXK can push people to act right away.
Limited time offers always get me.
Right. And think about those simple follow-ups. If someone claims an offer, but they don't use it, maybe send them a friendly reminder. If TasteTXK has that feature, great. Or use email or whatever you have.
So it's all about removing those obstacles between interest and sale, making it super easy to take action. What metrics should businesses be watching in this conversion stage on TasteTXK?
Your conversion rate is key. That's the percentage of people who claim an offer and then actually redeem it.
Okay.
Also, look at the total number of shoppers you're getting, and then crucially, how much revenue those redeemed TasteTXK offers are actually bringing in. That gives you a direct measure of the platform's impact.
Got it. Give us an example of a Texarkana business totally rocking the conversion stage.
Okay, picture this. A local Texarkana bakery wants to boost their weekday sales. They could offer a TasteTXK exclusive, buy one pastry, get one free on Wednesdays, and include a big order now button that links directly to their online ordering.
I love free pastries.
Who doesn't? And by making it that easy, a clear offer with a direct way to order, they'll likely see a nice bump in those Wednesday sales.
Okay, you've made the sale, the customer has converted. What's next? It doesn't just end there, right?
No way. Stage 4 is all about engagement.
All right, let's engage.
This is about keeping those customers active, encouraging them to keep coming back to your business here in Texarkana. You build that relationship, and you do that through consistent communication and by offering things they actually value.
Why is it so important to focus on engagement after someone's already a customer? Why not just move on to the next person?
Because engaged customers are way more likely to become repeat customers.
Makes sense.
And that increases their lifetime value to your business. By staying in touch, giving them reasons to come back beyond just that first purchase, you stay top of mind. And let's be real, there are a lot of options in Texarkana, right?
Yeah.
If you don't make an effort to engage, even a happy customer might just forget about you after a while.
So how can Texarkana businesses using TasteTXK keep their customers engaged and coming back for more?
Personalized communication is a big one. If TasteTXK lets you do those SMS or email campaigns, take advantage of it.
Okay.
You can send updates about new things that are relevant to Texarkana, upcoming events, even just helpful tips related to what they bought from you before.
So keep them in the loop.
Exactly. And think about offering special perks or content just for loyal TasteTXK users. It makes them feel valued.
People love that.
Right. Participating in collaborations and cross-promotions within the TasteTXK community is another good one. It keeps your brand visible. And, of course, loyalty programs are a classic for a reason. You can do a point system or something like that right through TasteTXK where they get rewarded for coming back.
Loyalty programs always work on me. What metrics tell you if your engagement efforts are actually working here in Texarkana?
Keep an eye on your engagement rate. How often are people interacting with you on TasteTXK, whether it's claiming offers, visiting your page, or checking out your content? Then look at your total customers. Are people coming back multiple times?
Got it.
And of course, you want to track the revenue coming in specifically from those engaged customers to see the financial impact of your efforts.
Can you paint us a picture of a Texarkana business successfully engaging their customers?
Okay, so let's say you have a Texarkana coffee shop. They could use TasteTXK to send a monthly email to their subscribers, maybe highlight a new seasonal drink, or offer a loyalty discount for those who come in regularly.
Okay.
They could even host, a special tasting event just for their TasteTXK followers, something that builds a sense of community and gets them back in the door.
Awesome. We've gone from making them aware to converting them to keeping them engaged. What's the ultimate goal here with the ACCER model?
That leads us to the final, and I'd argue the most valuable stage, retention and advocacy.
Right, the final stage.
This is where you not only keep those Texarkana customers coming back, but you turn them into, like, super fans, the kind of people who will actually go out and tell their friends and family about how great you are.
That's the dream, right? Having people do the marketing for you. But why is this stage so important, especially for a local business?
Well, for starters, getting new customers is way more expensive than keeping the ones you already have. Like, way more expensive.
Wow, how much more expensive?
Some studies say it can be 5 to 10 times more. So it just makes sense financially to put energy into nurturing those existing relationships.
So you're essentially getting a better return on your marketing dollars.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving money. Retained customers, they're just more valuable overall.
How so?
Well, they're more likely to try new things you offer, and on average, they spend more per transaction and over their lifetime as a customer.
That's huge.
Right. And that all goes straight to your bottom line. Plus, and this is a big one, happy, loyal customers are your best marketing.
You mentioned that word of mouth thing earlier.
Exactly. They'll tell their friends and family here in Texarkana about you, and they'll leave good reviews online. That kind of organic marketing is gold because people trust recommendations from others, especially from people they know.
So it's like a snowball effect, right? You keep those customers happy and they help you attract new ones.
Exactly. And it really completes that whole ACCR cycle.
So how can businesses in Texarkana really nail this retention and advocacy piece, especially if they're using TasteTXK?
First off, show some love to your customers. Simple things like a thank you message or a special offer for their birthday or anniversary set through TasteTXK can make them feel really appreciated.
I like that.
And create a referral program. Give people a discount for referring their friends to your TasteTXK offers. It taps into that word-of-mouth power. Encourage people to share their experiences on social media. Maybe tag your TasteTXK page. And definitely showcase those positive reviews you get right on your TasteTXK profile.
So, referrals and highlighting those good reviews. What metrics should businesses be looking at to see how they're doing with retention and advocacy?
Well, you want to look at your customer retention rate. That tells you what percentage of past customers are coming back.
Okay.
Keep track of total redemptions over the past 30 days to see how active your customer base is. And try to get a sense of your advocacy score, how many people are actually recommending you to others. You can look at referral code usage or just monitor what people are saying about you online and around Texarkana.
You mentioned a real-world example.
Okay, so let's say there's a popular Texarkana gym. They could do a VIP program where long-term members get exclusive discounts and invites to special fitness classes.
Cool.
And they could encourage members to share photos of themselves working out at the gym on social media.
Good marketing.
Right. It builds community. And when someone leaves a great review on their TasteTXK page, maybe the owner sends a personal thank you. It just strengthens that relationship.
It all ties together. Now, we talked earlier about how crucial customer retention is, especially here in Texarkana. Can we dig into that a little more? Why is it so important?
Totally. Customer retention is the foundation for sustainable growth for any business. But I think it's even more important in a place like Texarkana, where community ties are so strong. As we've discussed, keeping an existing customer happy is way cheaper than constantly trying to find new ones. Your marketing budget just goes further when you focus on those existing relationships.
And there are advantages beyond just saving money, right?
Oh, for sure. Retained customers, they're not just less expensive, they tend to spend more. They're open to trying new things, and they'll spend more over time. And that means a healthier bottom line for your Texarkana business.
And what about that word-of-mouth marketing we talked about?
That's huge. Happy, loyal customers become your biggest fans. They'll rave about you to their friends and family in Texarkana. They'll tell everyone online. And that kind of authentic recommendation, it means so much more than any ad you could run.
So focusing on retention is really the key to unlocking the full potential of the ACCER model.
Absolutely. It's not just the final stage. It actually feeds back into the beginning.
How so?
Those loyal advocates you create through retention, they become a driving force behind new awareness. They help bring new customers to your business. When you prioritize retention, you're building a more stable and successful future for your business here in Texarkana, especially when you use platforms like TasteTXK to nurture those local relationships.
This has been such a helpful breakdown of the ACCER model. Let's recap those key takeaways for our Texarkana business owners.
Okay, so we start with awareness. Make sure your business is visible both online and offline, that people in Texarkana can actually find you. Then there's consideration or desire. You want to create a message and offers that really resonate with those local customers, make them want what you have. The third stage is conversion. Make it super easy for people to do business with you, remove any obstacles in the buying process. Then comes engagement. You've got to build those relationships, give people reasons to keep coming back. And finally, retention and advocacy. This is where you turn those happy customers into loyal fans who spread the word about how great you are.
So for all the Texarkana businesses out there, what's the one thing you want them to really think about right now regarding the ACCER model?
I'd say take a moment to think about which of those 5 stages you could improve on. Are you struggling to get noticed? Focus on awareness. Are you getting views but not sales? Look at your conversion process.
It's like a self-assessment.
Exactly.
What's one small, actionable step they can take today to start applying this to their business?
Pick just one thing. Maybe update your TasteTXK profile with better photos and a more engaging description. Maybe brainstorm a new offer just for TasteTXK users. Or just think about a simple way to engage your current customers a little better.
Start small. And if anyone wants more info on how to use TasteTXK specifically to implement these strategies,
the TasteTXK Workspaces Help Center is a fantastic resource. They've got step-by-step guides on how to use the platform's features to really make the most of the ACCR model, and it's all tailored to our local businesses here.
perfect. We'll include a link in our show notes. And everyone, stay tuned for more deep dives where we'll explore even more ways to help your Texarkana businesses thrive.
We're here to give you the tools and knowledge you need to be successful right here in our community.
And as we wrap up today, here's something to think about. How can we, as Texarkana businesses, all work together using the ACCR model and platforms like TasteTXK to build an even stronger local economy? An economy that's all about those meaningful, lasting customer relationships.
That's a great question to ponder.
It is. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.